Hey everybody! My camera is being really weird. It only lets me go horizontal when my camera is the opposite way as it normally is, so I'm sorry. I keep having the struggle every week before I go live, so I'm sorry about that. Gosh. But I'm so happy to see you guys. I've had just a ridiculous day today. I don't know. It is so Monday. I know I say that, but oh, goodness. Monday's hitting me hard today. I don't know why. But once I get my stamping lips on, oh, things should be better. So I always get a question each week about why do you put your lipstick on? And I have to tell you, it is just a silly thing. I forgot to put my lips on one time, like when I first started doing Facebook Live. And then I got some comments on it. And so I put it on, because I can see myself in my selfie mode of my phone. So I put it on and people thought it was funny and they seemed to like it. So it just sort of became a thing, and so that's where the stamping lips came from. Every so often I get a comment like, why are you putting lipstick on? That's stupid. And to those people I say, it's a happy day. We're going to have fun. And if you don't like my lips, go somewhere else. I don't mean to sound like snotty, but geez. It's just a silly thing that I do. So there you go. Anyway, I hope that you guys had a great week. Oh, Jenny, thank you. Mwah. I appreciate that. I hope you're having a good day. Hi, Donna. Donna from Australia. Good day, mate. I'm really bad at my Australian accent. You can ask Kylie because Kylie and Bruno tried to teach me how to speak Australian, and you aren't supposed to pronounce your R's, but I'm a big R person. So like, for instance, my favorite way to say Melbourne is Melbourne. So anyway, it's just silly. But I hope that you guys are doing well. I am really excited to be stamping with you today because seriously, this is going to be the best part of my whole day. I have broken one nail and where's the other one? Another nail. And I broke this one last week. And I'm trying to hold out for a few more days till I get another manicure. Here's Ella. How was school?
It was fine.
Good.
Not focused. What did you do with that sheet?
I think it's in there. You need it?
Yeah, because I needed...
The recycling pile, it's probably in there somewhere. Yeah. It's around somewhere. If it's not in there, it's in the trash under my computer. Goodness. Anyway, did anything fun happen this weekend, Ella?
Carl had a meet.
We did go. We went to see Carl run in his second meet of the week. And he did really awesome. He PR'd, which is personal record. I think I posted a picture or two on my website this weekend because it was really sweet. He's all excited. In fact, he doesn't have a meet this week and he was sad because I think he likes getting a PR because it's really, it's a big deal in cross country to get a PR. Everybody likes, you celebrate it with your team and everything. So, and it was such a nice day for a race because it wasn't so hot and it wasn't so windy and it was really nice. Oh, and it wasn't muddy, so that was nice too. Ella had a race on Thursday and it was really muddy. In fact, my shoes are still dirty. I need to wash them. In fact, I think you need to wash your shoes too, don't you? And Sophie is here. She is saying hello, watching. She's like, ooh, are the ladies coming to pet me? I think when she hears me talk, she thinks that ladies are coming to the house, which just isn't the case. Not right now. So, anyway, what else was I going to say? You can't find it?
Mm-mm.
Well, I will. Do you need it like this instant?
Well, I need it tonight because
Okay.
it's due the 26th.
All right. Well, I'm kind of busy with my friends here online.
Your friends?
Yeah, my friends. So I'll help you, okay, later. I know it's around somewhere. It has not, like, disintegrated since earlier today. Okay. By the way, can I just show you her shirt? Show them your shirt because it's really cute. It says "Make Art." Isn't that cool? I'm pointing. And you're wearing your new jeans? Oh, good. They fit.
Yeah.
We went shopping. So last night the boys were at robotics and Ella and I went shopping. What are you doing?
I don't know. I might be going to robotics tonight. I don't know for sure though. Because it'd just be working on some minor stuff at like Ruins or Shelved or something.
Okay, well let me know.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I gotta
Okay,
go.
bye.
For cross country.
Bye. Have a good workout. Love you.
Love you too.
Oh my gosh. Seriously. Okay, don't you guys miss Carl? He actually misses seeing you guys. So my phone is opposite of what it normally is, so I keep looking over here, but I'm supposed to be looking over here because this is looking in the camera. This is looking at the circle. My, like, button. It's so confusing. Okay, so then I have to tell you guys. So I'm having a little problem. So my kids have been warned not to use our data. We have an 8 gig, I think I have a hair of Sophie's in my mouth. Yep. We have an 8 gig data plan on our phones. And usually Ella is the one who uses most of the data because she's on the Snapchat all the time. But I had to kind of put the hammer down on those kids and tell them that over data equals 0 devices. Guess who went over data this month? Me. Okay, so our month starts over on the 5th. So as you can probably tell, we still have quite a few days left and we have used all of our data. So I went into the Verizon store, which PS took an hour because I forgot the stupid iPhone came out this weekend. So then, of course, I'm sitting there talking to the guy about my data, and then we're kind of going through that. But then I'm like, oh, so what's the difference with the new phones? And he's like, oh, let me show you. So the new phone has like a super awesome camera on it. And of course, I'm all about the camera because not only do I take a ton of pictures of like my kids and my stamping and my friends and my selfies, but it's what I use to video everything on. So long story short, I bought myself a new phone. Like I went in for data and I came out with a phone. Well, they didn't have them in stock. Anyway, so long story short about that is I got home and then I realized, oh my gosh, I got totally taken by the Verizon store because they wanted to give me $100 for my current phone, which is an iPhone 8 Plus with 256 glorious gigs of storage, because let me tell you, I use them. And they wanted to only give me $100 for this phone. So I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder what it's really worth. So I looked online, $350 minimum. So long story short, I canceled my iPhone order and I'm waiting till there's a better deal. So I got to hold out on the phone. I want it so bad. Ugh. Okay. I'm okay. So really, the real moral of the story is never buy an iPhone the weekend they come out. It's just dumb. And don't ever go to the phone store the week they come out. I do actually know this. But anyway. So I hope you guys are doing well. I know I've said that like 8 times, but I really do hope for that. His Royal Highness. I think that's really funny. You keep referring to him that way. You have 30 gigs of data and you almost use all of it every month. Well, I work from home, so I'm pretty much on my wireless most of the time. And my kids can get on wireless at school. My husband can get on wireless at work. So it's not too often. I actually think what it is I have a downline meeting every month, which is a Facebook Live, just like this. And I'm pretty sure that we had it at Old Chicago restaurant. And I was pretty sure that my that I was on their internet, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't because I used up all the data. I don't know. I was trying to get the guy to tell me where it all went. Like, poof, where did your data go? Okay, so anyway, I think it's time for me to stop talking and for us to get stamping. I also have to tell you that I have some prizes to give away this week, so we should definitely do that. And I got a fun card in the mail too. So, and I have to say, my stamping space is not a complete and utter disaster that it usually is. So I'm proud of myself. So anyway, okay. Let me see. What did I do? This week is kind of exciting because my prize that's going out, we're going to make a card with. So that's pretty good. I don't often get things to work out like that, but it's working this time. And then also the card I have to show you is really cool and it's totally for fall. So yay. Okay. You guys ready? I'm going to flip the camera around. And voila, here we go. Oh, you can see a little bit of the mess. See, the nice thing about this is, okay, there we go. So we'll just see. And the other thing is the camera is on this side and normally it's on this side. So it's all wrong. I don't know why Facebook is such a stickler about that. Like I didn't used to have this problem, but anyway, okay, we're close. We're pretty close. Oh, look, a piece of white paper. It's a miracle. Anyway, I'm just reading. Ethyre. It's really a bummer. That data is a bummer. And the other thing is that I did ask about the unlimited and right now I'm better off paying my overages. So whatever. It's overages stress me out just like garbage stresses me out. Like if our garbage gets full and it's not garbage day yet, that stresses me out. Isn't that funny? Oh, Barbara, you loved the online class, Rooted in Nature online class. Thank you so much. I really liked that class too. I was kind of enjoying making those projects for the videos. Actually, I always like making the projects for the videos, but sometimes I just love more, I don't know. Well, whatever. I really like that one. But here we go. So this is the Rooted in Nature stamp set and coordinating printed paper. And it says to thank you for all you do. Aw, I love that. I'll be honest though, I actually lopped the 2 off of my thank you for all you do because I don't get it. Can someone explain this to me? I don't know. But anyway, so isn't this sweet? This is from Denise, and she just sent me the nicest card. And I have to tell you guys, I also got a message from a new customer that had just ordered from me for the first time, and I send a welcome email out, saying thank you, blah blah blah. Here's how to join our VIP rewards program and everything. And she sent me just the sweetest message. Like I said, I've really had a Monday today. It was so nice. So anyway, thank you so much, Denise. I really appreciate it. She even stamped the back of the card, which I just thought was so cute. Yes, Susan, I did send it out, but I don't think you ordered it. To be honest, Susan is kind of like my hero because she orders just about all of my classes, but I don't think you were on my list, Susan. I'll double check though to make sure. Okay. All right, so I do have prizes to give away. I've got 2 Dandelion Wishes stamp sets for 2 lucky recipients. And I have to say, this is such an awesome stamp set. It has been super duper popular. So I hope that neither one of you have this set already, by the way. But I don't know. I don't think so. My first winner is Olivia Gonzalez. So congratulations, Olivia. And I will pull out. This is how you claim your prize for Facebook Live. So congratulations on winning. Make sure to claim your prize. You have 2 weeks to email me your mailing address. Okay. That's how I get these in the mail. And even if you think I know your mailing address, will you please email it to me in order to claim your prize? By the way, I will just tell you, last week's winners have not claimed their prizes yet. And if they don't claim them by next Monday, they're going to somebody else. So I'm just going to tell you that right now. I know I'm like a stickler, but I really, and make sure you email me that because I get a lot of messages. Actually, I've been struggling a little bit with that lately when people message me on Facebook, on my business page on Facebook, like a actual text message on my actual phone. I get all these different messages. If you would email me anytime you need something, that's really awesome. And the reason is because, like, if I am at a cross-country meet and checking my phone, like while my kids aren't racing, and then your message comes and I read it, I can't often remember it later when I can actually do something about it. So I'm just saying. Anyway, but congratulations to Olivia. I'll just flash her name once more. Olivia Gonzalez. So fun to say that. Our next winner is Anne, and I know I'm not going to say this right. Sielski? It can't be that simple. But anyway, Anne, Ciesielski. And congratulations, you are also a winner. So please make sure that you send me an email and claim your prize, and I will get this mailed out to you. So congratulations, ladies. So exciting. I love giving away stamps, and I really appreciate it. Don't forget, if you would like to get entered, you just need to share my video or place an order, and you will be entered into the drawing, which I do each week. So congratulations to both of you guys. All right. Now, I've got some, I think, fun cards for us to do today. We're doing a variety of things. Every week I ask people to let me know if there's something you'd like to see, and I try to do those cards. Sometimes I can't always do it that week. Often I'll get somebody who will ask me to do something like that I haven't even opened the stamp set yet for, or occasionally it's a set I don't have. I keep getting requests for the pheasant set, and I gave mine away and I haven't ordered it for myself yet. So as soon as I get that, I will do a pheasant card, I promise, because I know you guys have continued to ask me for that. But sometimes I can make cards with the ones that you would like to see. So today I have a couple that were requests, and then a couple that I just have kind of come up with. Now, I mentioned that I was going to make a card with the stamp set that I was giving away, and we will. So I've got that. And then let's see what else. Well, the first card I wanted to show you is kind of a fun one. It's really simple, but I think really pretty. And it is featuring the Joyous Noel, or wait, Peaceful Noel. Joyous Noel is the paper. Peaceful Noel is the stamp set. So we're going to make this, and it's a really simple card, but I think it's really easy and cute. So I hope you guys are going to like it. First of all, so I cut a piece of printed paper, and I should put this right side up because that makes it work better. So I have this piece of printed paper, and it is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to turn this on its side and then just lop off roughly 1.5 inches. I say roughly, well, it is actually an exact 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'm just cutting that apart, and then I'm going to flip it so we can use both sides of this beautiful paper. Okay, next, what I want to do is adhere that just to a layer of this cardstock. So, or not cardstock, this is Tranquil Tide cardstock, which of course matches. Okay. Okay. Now, I know as of earlier today, at least, you can get Fast Fuse refills in the online store, but they're sold out of the dispensers. If you need a dispenser, you can let me know. I do have a few of them that are new from when they had the buy one, get two free sale. So if you are interested in Fast Fuse, just let me know. I'll take good care of you. Okay. It's on the clearance rack, by the way, in case you were wondering, and the refills are $3.50 each, and they are normally like $7 or $7.50 or something to that effect. So it's kind of an awesome deal. So just email me. Now, of course, I probably should mention I can only do that for U.S. customers, U.S. people. I can't do that for my friends overseas, so I apologize for that. Okay, so here is my cute little base of a card. Okay, so that's really simple. Now what I'm going to do is adhere this to a layer of Sahara sand, and I kind of debated this one, but it was ultimately Sahara sand that won out. One of the other coordinating colors in this DSP is gray granite, and I've been using a lot of that, but I wanted to kind of change it up. Now I'm going to add just a little ribbon across here. This is the Ruffled Ribbon. This comes in last year's in colors. So there is Lemon Lime Twist, Berry Burst, this one, which is Tranquil Tide, Powder Pink, and Fresh Fig. All right, so to adhere this, I'm just going to put a little fast fuse on either side. You can do a glue dot, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I like fast fuse because it sticks fairly well. Fast fuse is definitely my adhesive of choice, but it's kind of a love-hate situation for some people. Some people love it or some people hate it. So anyway, there you go. Now, isn't this a cute card base? So you can do all kinds of stuff with this. You could put a reindeer right here. You can put a sentiment right here. You could put any die cut shape, a tree, a branch, a whatever. I'm going to do a sentiment, and then I'm going to use the punch that coordinates with this. So first I'm going to pop it up. But what I kind of wanted to show you before I added anything, and why I sort of purposefully have not given you the sample, is to show you that this is a really awesome base for a card. And you can take this basic layout, which like I said is really simple, and then turn it into a whole bunch of different types of cards. Okay, so that's a really awesome basis of a card. All right, now like I said, you can do whatever you want with it. And again, you change up the papers, change up the colors, get lots of different options. So one of the things I just love about this set is it has the sentiment, may your season be filled with happiness, or fill the season with happiness, something like that. Something about happy. I liked it. Of course, that one stuck out to me right away. So I'm going to stamp this on a little piece of white cardstock and then punch it out. Just looking for my scrap. So I'm going to stamp it in Tranquil Tide. Of course, that coordinates. Okay. All right. So there we go. Fill your season with happiness. I'm going to use the Everyday Label punch. This is a fantastic punch for sentiments just like this, and then we'll use another punch that coordinates with the stamp set to finish off the card, and that is this punch. There you go. Can you kind of see that? My lighting is so goofy here. You can sort of see it. Okay, but for this one, we're going to use copper scraps. And what I love especially about punches, especially one like this, is it is such a good way to use up your scraps that you just have laying around left over from different projects. So I've got a few different scraps in here. So we're going to punch that out with this punch, and I bet I can get 2 out of here. It's going to be close, but I bet I can squeeze it in. That sounds terrible, but I love it. Okay, so there we go. And by the way, these are for sure antlers on a deer. I'm just saying. Okay, so there we are with our little copper accents. Now, I think this looks great on our card, but I want a little something more to sort of fill this out. Okay, so I'm going to use one other punch out. Hold on, I'm grabbing it. And that is some vellum. Vellum is kind of that secret punch that you can use that looks so awesome. And it's really, really pretty and adds just a nice subtle accent on things without being like really in your face about it. You know what I mean? Okay, now one of the things I like doing too with this, especially vellum, is you can take and snip these in half and then kind of change the direction so that not everything is all going in the same direction. So I can have a couple going inward and outward on here. Does that make sense? And that just sort of fills things out a little bit better. Sometimes when you have them just two going in the same direction, it gets a little boring because it just totally looks like doubles. But when you flip them, it looks awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a little adhesive on both sides, and then I'll tack this down. Of course, I want to make sure plenty is showing. And then I flipped this one over, and I'm going to put just a little bit more adhesive down. So I flipped that one over. And this one over. Oh my gosh, Janet is watching from Vienna. How amazing. I've loved seeing your pictures, Janet. Looks like you're having an amazing trip. Janet has been on a cruise all throughout Europe. I think she was on a Viking cruise. I see those commercials on TV. It looks fancy. She's been to all kinds of amazing places. Okay. And then I'm also going to snip this one in half. And someone's saying they like the thickness. Is that, yep, Elizabeth. And Beth, I do too. It's nice and thick, so you can really do some things with it, which is nice. Sometimes vellum can be really thin and flimsy, so this is not that. Okay, so there we go. We've got lots of stuff happening here. Now I'm going to pop this whole thing up on my card because you know that is like my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. And I'm going to adhere my dimensionals right over the top, and that'll kind of hold them in as well. And then we'll get this onto our card like so. Now I have to share with you actually one more thing. So the other thing I did was I put some copper thread, metallic thread, and that added kind of a fun little touch. So I'm just rolling this around like so, my fingers, and then I'll kind of tack this down. The thing is, you just want some part of it to touch your adhesive, and then the rest can kind of stick out. All right, so there we go. I'm putting this on top and bottom of my ribbon, and that is my card. Now I have to share with you one little mistake I did once with my sample. I changed a couple things. This is my actual original sample. So I had white ribbon here, which I didn't really like. And then I had, I put adhesive on the wrong sides of the paper. I had this, the bigger piece was the not copper portion, you know, so I made it right on this one. So, whew, good job, Dina. And then second of all, I spritzed copper shimmer paint on here, and I didn't really like how it looked, so we're not doing that on this one. So that's kind of the difference between the two, just so you can see. And you know, they're both nice, so it's not like this one's bad and this one's better, but I do kind of like that little difference between the two a little bit better. So I don't know. So Sherry's asking, what are the papers cut? So this was 3 3/4, I'm pretty sure, the printed paper. Yep, 3 3/4 by 5. And then the layer it's adhered to is 4 by 5 1/4. No, 3 3/4 by 5. 4, yeah, 4 by 5 1/4. That doesn't seem right, but it is. And then it's on a regular card base. Okay, and then do you guys, which ribbon do you like better? I kind of like the darker ribbon myself. The white ribbon just sort of stuck out on here a little bit. So anyway, there you go. Okay, there's our first card. Next, I had a request. Let's see. Well, I had a request for a card with actually I get requests for the cards with Winter Woods pretty much every week. And I had a very specific request today. I think it was the Winter Woods with the tree with the die that cuts the tree out. So I'll be honest, I haven't done this yet, but we're going to give it a shot. First of all, the Winter Woods comes with a bunch of dies, which are awesome, including the one I just dropped, which I'm going to pick up. And we're going to use this one. I'm not sure if you knew what this was, but it's like a snowbank. It's an edgelet. So I just die cut it on a little scrap that I had here, and then you can attach this to your card, and you get that perfect little snowbank or ground. It's really pretty. Okay. And today, actually, this also kind of cracks me up, this happens pretty much every week. Someone will say, well, could you make a card with this? And literally either the week before on Facebook Live, we used it, or like within a day or two, I had posted a video on my regular blog with it. And today I did post a card. I posted this card on my blog. So there's a video tutorial for this on my blog, but I really like this card. Anyway, back to my project. So I did die cut my little wood ground. So let's build up a card with that. I'm going to use Shaded Spruce for this card because I think that'll be really pretty. And then I've got, oh my goodness, I have to laugh. These little backings kind of show up everywhere. And one of my downline posted a picture that one came with her on vacation, and she found it like when she was in her hotel room. So I thought that was kind of funny. Okay, so I'm going to start with Shaded Spruce, and I'm going to use some very vanilla cardstock. So let's stamp that tree out. Now this is one of those distinctive images, which is like really true to life kind of image. And I'll tell you that if my ink pad is super juicy, I'm going to change colors. And the reason is it's a new pad. I haven't used it all that much. And the juicy ink pads don't work very well with with this distinctive to really see those details. So I have to laugh. Someone said my blocks are always super clean, and I just had to point out how dirty this block is. Okay. Someone's saying if they lived up north, they'd get it in a minute. Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter if you live up north. And if you're surrounded by palm trees, I have palm tree sets and I am not surrounded by palm trees like ever. Okay, so even when you ink this up, you can really see in there kind of the details. It's pretty cool, actually. So I actually don't want to do vanilla because I just realized that my my ground that I just die cut is white, so we'll stick with white. So let me switch papers. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp this kind of up a little bit, like so. Oh, it's so amazing. Look at that, you guys. That looks like a 3-dimensional pine tree, like for sure. Oh my gosh. Isn't that amazing? Oh, so pretty. So many details in that stamp. Okay, so then I'm going to take and add this. So I can either do it like this or like this. And I don't really like either, based on where I've stamped this. We're going to make this one work though. There we are. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to just adhere it to the base of my card. Like so. And then I'm going to trim off the excess. So this is the easy part. You can use your trimmer for this too. I'm just lining up the edges with my card stock that I stamped on and then trimming the excess with my scissors. So that's pretty easy. Unless you get off the edge a little, like, ooh, I'm about to. It's in the corner. No one will know. Okay. And that's a great tip, Joy. She's saying keep the other piece because then you've got another piece you can use. So true. So hold on to that extra piece. That is exactly right. All right, so there we go. We have a beautiful winter scene. And I like the idea of taking and putting some shimmer on here. So you can do that in a bunch of different ways, but I've got my Wink of Stella. So I'm just going to Wink of Stella this tree up, and you can see it's sort of painting with color, and I actually kind of like that. It's smearing the ink that I used, which is just fine for me in this case. Not always do I like that, but in this case I do like it. So I've added some shimmer to this, just making sure I've got it everywhere. Now I want to clean this off so that I don't get it on the rest of anything. So I'll just clean it off like I would an aqua painter or whatever. All right, next I want to add my sentiment to this. And let's see. Thinking of You This Season comes in the stamp set. So why don't we use that? That's kind of nice. A very pretty sentiment. And I think we'll take and stick it there. Oh my gosh, my nail is like hanging on by a thread here. It's kind of a mess, but just hoping I can hold out until I can get in to get a manicure. The one problem I have is I have no idea where to go get my nails done. So I've been trying to like look at people's hands and see if they have nice looking nails. Oh, but you know what? I want to use a different color. Use Mary Merlot. You got to find a good nail place, you know? I actually went back to Cedar Falls for my last nail appointment. Okay, so I've got my sentiment in Mary Merlot because I think it's so pretty. Thinking of You This Season. Oh, so nice. All right, and we're going to add this to, I think, a Mary Merlot card. Oh, that makes it nice and rich. And then we might just trim this down ever so slightly and put a little more on there. Hold on. Okay, so this is 3 3/4 by 5, and this is 3 and hold on, 3 3/4, 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Okay, and Denise, I'm going to answer your question in 1 second. Okay, if I don't remind me to. On here, I'm going to adhere this because it's so pretty. Okay. And then we're going to add some gorgeous ribbon. So gorgeous. Now the ribbon is this beautiful reversible ribbon that's Mary Merlot. It's in the holiday catalog. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it across here on the Mary Merlot side. So I want this to be just a little longer than my card. And then I'm going to tie a bow, and it will be showing kind of both sides, I guess. Well, you'll see. So I'll just adhere that around the back. Like so. And then we'll tie our ribbon so that the bow shows the copper side, which is really pretty. And this ribbon really ties nicely, which I love. It makes you feel like a no, oh my gosh, I'm having a whole day with ribbon. Let me just tell you. If you watched my video from this morning, you know what I'm talking about. We'll see. Hopefully it won't take me 3 times to tie this one. I have really been liking this ribbon because it does tie super nicely. There we go. This is going better. Better than this morning. Goodness. That was kind of a disaster. Okay. So I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller, I think. Sometimes you have to convince your ribbon to do what you want it to do. There we go. That looks pretty good. And I don't know if there's like a little bit of like if there's a little bit of metal in here, maybe not. Like sometimes there's, you know, an edge of wire going through ribbon. I don't think this has that though. Okay, so I'm still making it do what I want. Shush. Now we're going to add that bow right up there. I mean, this is really a simple card, but it's very pretty. Now, one thing I'm going to do is kind of squish this ribbon a little bit so it looks like it's tied right on there. So you know how you get that gather? And then I'm going to put this right over the top. So it looks like I did all the fancy bow work right on here, but I did not. Because I'm a sneaky little person like that. Okay, so there's that. And if the gather doesn't hold, throw a glue dot under there. Tell them who's boss. Okay. There we go. But I actually like using fast fuse to adhere stuff. There we are. That's it. And of course, we'll pop this up onto our card. Now, another little silly tip really is, like you can see I put fast fuse on here and I didn't completely cover up the fast fuse with my ribbon. So I'm going to put dimensionals right over that fast fuse so that I'm covering up the adhesive and it won't stick in some spots and not other spots on the back of my card. Does that make sense? It's really an easy way to get that, keep that from happening. I just think this card looks so rich on this beautiful Mary Merlot card base. And then on the inside, you could put another layer of cardstock. You can do whatever you want to make that work. So very cute. Oh, somebody's upset about my ink pad. Sorry. We'll close it. You wouldn't have liked my video this morning. I'm pretty sure I left those open. All right, so there's our second card. Really simple. This would be a great card to do in bulk. Now, someone had asked about stamping the tree and then die cutting it out with the dimensional framelit. So let's give that a shot quick. So I'm going to stamp this once more in Shaded Spruce. On my scrap of cardstock. And now there's two dies that do this. The first die is going to cut the tree out itself. Okay, so you can see that's all pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, and I'm going to put a Post-it over the top of this to hold it in place so I can die cut it. Like so. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to die cut this really quick. Okay, so there we have it. So cute. And then there's also this piece. Now this piece cuts out the little branches to give it more of a three-dimensional look. Okay, so I'm going to take that and kind of hold this down again. Once again, let me run that through my Big Shot and I'll be right back. Actually, hold on. I'm not going to do that because I think I might need to do this one first. Hold on. So when I cut this, I'm honestly not sure. This is why you shouldn't video stuff before you've tried it. I have not used this dye yet, obviously, but let me see about this. I just need a scrap paper. So what if we just do this? Okay. Woo! Things are flying. Okay, this did not go how I planned at all. I might have to come back to you on this one. So I know this will, like, you can pop these up. There we go. But that does not seem right to me. However, when we put it on top of this one, it does look like a fuller Christmas tree, but I'm not liking how these branches don't line up. And maybe it's just that I didn't get it lined up quite right. And that could be definitely what it is. But this definitely gives you a more full tree when you layer the two together, but I'm not 100% sure that's how you're supposed to do it. So anyway, that could be it, but it might not be it either. So we're going to table this one and come back to it after I do a little research for next week. But this could be it. I don't know. It just doesn't seem quite right to me. So like I said, I'll come back to that next time and let you know what the dealio is. Okay. Usually I can wing things pretty well, but not in this case, obviously. I'm sure this open ink pad is just giving you guys fits though, isn't it? I leave ink pads open on my tables a lot. And it's actually fairly rare that I get ink all over myself as a result of that, but sometimes it does happen, usually on my Facebook Lives, because then that would just totally prove me wrong and you guys right. Okay, so there we go. Now our next card is really going to be simple. This is using that Dandelion Wishes stamp set, and I'm combining it with the Bokeh dots. I love this stamp set and they're really pretty. This is another one of those distinctive stamp sets. So I'm going to ink this up in some Berry Burst ink, which, yeah, I pulled that ink pad out. What did I do with it? There we go. I wanted this to be kind of a fall color. So I'm using Berry Burst and Early Espresso. Now here's another one of those stamp sets where you don't want your juicy ink pad. If you just re-inked your ink pad, this is not going to come out the way you want. Promise. Fran is asking, how do I clean the gunk off my scissors? Oh, so easy. What I do, and P.S., isn't that awesome? Oh. What I do, Fran, is I just take rubbing alcohol and clean them off with a little bit, like on a cotton ball or something, and that works really well. Okay, so this is the Bokeh dots, and then I'm going to take that Dandelion Wishes, and here is kind of the blowing dandelion, which I think is kind of fun for fall. And we're going to stamp it right on here. It's going to go off the edges, and that's okay. Like so. There's our dandelion. And then the sentiment that I'm going to use in here is a straight. Yeah, it's pretty straight. It says, sending well wishes your way. We'll stamp that in Early Espresso also. Okay, so really simple. We'll adhere it to a berry burst card, but I think it needs a layer of early espresso. Okay, so let me grab that. Yeah, that looks nice. Then I'm going to do one other thing. On here, closing of the ink pads. Okay. Oh, the bokeh dots are pretty awesome. Again, when you're using these distinctive ink stamp sets, having an ink pad that's not overly juicy is really important in getting it to work right. So I think that's really helpful to know that. All right, now let's add a little ribbon with this. And you wouldn't, actually, we're going to do one other thing first. You wouldn't have to add your ribbon, but, or you don't have to, you can leave it real simple like this, but I wanted to. I'm going to use, this is my Stampin' Spritzer that has some copper, and actually it also has a little bit of Champagne Mist shimmer paint in it with rubbing alcohol. I was at the store last night with Ella, and I forgot to get my rubbing alcohol. I'm so mad. I keep forgetting that. I've been to the store like twice since last week. Okay, I'm going to spritz this from up here, which is about 12 or so inches. And I'm just spritzing it a few times, 3 shots, and you can't see it a ton, but then you get all of this amazing shimmer, which I hope you can see from here. It's so hard for me to tell if you can see that shimmer or not. It's on there though. So pretty. So like the whole thing just shimmers a bit. All right, now I didn't want to spray that on my ribbon, so that's why I held my ribbon off for just a second. But then I'm going to add, well, maybe I'm not going to add the ribbon. I think it might look better without. We're going to skip the ribbon. Okay. I'll just pop this up on my card. So really simple. Do you ever get to a card and you're just like, nope, nope, stop. Too much. It's not going to work. I know what I can add that will be nice without being too much. And that is some linen thread. Put a little linen thread on here. And that'll be pretty. Without, you know, going, I want the focus to be my stamped image. And then this kind of has a fall woodsy look, you know. So here's what I love about this card. First of all, it was crazy easy, right? I mean, just so simple. Second of all, it was crazy fast. There's not a lot that went into this. Oh, this nail is going to be the death of me. Third of all, this is the kind of thing you could make a bunch of these up in different colors, and then you would have them for any season of the year. I obviously mentioned at the beginning I wanted this to kind of have a fall feel to it. But you could do these in springy colors, summery colors, wintry colors, and these would be great to keep on hand for when you need them, for when somebody's not feeling well, if they're in the hospital or what have you. So there you go. I like that, having this little bow on there better. What do you guys think? Bow or no bow? And Dolly, I thought about that braided linen thread, but actually I think it's a little thicker than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be simple. So just to keep it kind of easy. Fresh Fig would be another great color. I was worried it would be too dark for the stamping to show up on, but yes, that's another good card. All right, Jolene likes my bow. How about, oh, Wilma doesn't. Vivian does. Uh-oh, it's pretty even. Oh, bows are up. I love it. You guys are so fun. I could probably go either way with the bow. Oh, look, Emma says the same thing. So it's just kind of your personal preference. Oh, now the no bows are coming up. I love it when it's like bow, no bow. Okay, now Denise, I think, asked me, or Fran, somebody asked me a question about your chamois getting moldy. So let's talk about that for a minute. So I store my chamois in my package closed, typically. What happens is if you leave it in there too long without air getting to it, it will mold. So what I recommend doing is leaving it in the packet kind of like this, where it's open slightly. It actually, like ideally will dry out completely between uses, but I don't often let that happen just because I'm constantly using mine. I don't know if there's chlorine in my water or not, especially in my new house. I have no idea. I don't know if how big a role that plays into it or not, but in my experience, I only got mold in here when I left it closed up while I was in Alaska. And that was when I was gone for quite a while. So that is kind of my experience anyway. Someone is asking if you can stamp off. Oh, you like that I cut one of the chamois in half? So you want to know why I did that? It was actually to clean off my Stamparatus plates so that I didn't have to take the whole thing out. But it's easier to clean your Stamparatus plates with a half of one. So that's kind of why I have it like that. I have a full one underneath. You can see this one's kind of super wet. But someone's asking, can you stamp off with the Bokeh? So yes, let's take a look at that. So I just cleaned my stamp. Let me grab a couple scrap papers. All right. So can you stamp this off? The answer is yes, but, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Again, you want an ink pad that's not super juicy, so we'll continue to use our Berry Burst because I know this one will work. It's brave to ask women their opinion. That's funny, Deb. It is kind of though, isn't it? I know I will only get loving responses here. All right, so there it is, stamped once, and then I'm going to stamp it twice without re-inking. And you're going to see that it does stamp twice, but it's substantially lighter on that second go. So if that might be the look you're going for, is just kind of have a cool little shadow on here. But if it's not the look you're going for, you definitely are going to want the first stamping. I think it also really depends on the ink color you're using. So this is a pretty dark ink, so it really shows up light. But it just kind of depends. Ooh, Mickey, yours dries out in Colorado when it's in the case. I bet it does, because Colorado is definitely a drier state. I've got 2 strikes against me. I'm in the Midwest where it's very, very humid, and it has been very humid, and I'm also in my basement. So those 2 things definitely create a more moist environment. I love that. So, can I show the other stamp in the set? Yes, I can. So we'll pull this one out. This has some fuzz on it. All right. So let me grab another piece of paper. This one is also, this is more the traditional Bokeh, where you get that, gosh, what is on here? Let me clean this quick. There's like a fine little fuzz on here that I want to get off. Oh, and also it's dirty. So good thing here. Let's pick it up and clean it for reals. There we go. There is like a fuzz on here. I bet this was a stamp that was sitting out on my table for a long time. That's why. Okay. All right. So we'll ink that up. And you can, like, this is the fun part. Look at how cool this looks when you ink it up. Isn't that neat? You can really see the design. So we'll do the same thing. Although that didn't need to be under there. There it is. So pretty. We'll stamp it again. Stamped off. And you can see it's much, much, much lighter, but you still can kind of see the effect a little bit. But look at how cool those dots are. I love this stamp. Now, this one is a tricky one because it doesn't come out looking exactly like the picture. And I'll show you what I mean by that. To me, it picks up too much ink, and so it looks a little bit different, but I still see most of those circles in there, but it is tricky. Here, now that this is aligned correctly. So you still see these circles, you still see these circles, and, you know, it's similar. Where can you get a chamois? Sherry from Stampin' Up, of course. They're in the catalog. They're pretty awesome, too. I've got 3 of them. One I cut in half, and then 2 others that I keep. Well, one is in the case with the 2 cut in half, and then one's just by itself. I use them a ton. Now, they will stain, as you can probably see from my chamois. They totally stain, and that's okay. They'll rinse out quite a bit, but they do stain your chamois, especially when you start using dark colors. This is one I haven't used nearly as much as my other one, but there's plenty of staining on here. The other thing I found out is when you clean your chamois, they kind of, when I first rinse it out, the blue and green color comes out, and then I will change over to hot water, and then the reds start coming out. So I kind of clean it with cool water to start, and then hot water to kind of finish, and then I get more and more colors out too. So yes, I keep them wet, Lisa, but I haven't had any trouble with molding happening. Like I said, the only time it molded was when it was in the case closed for like almost 2 weeks solid. Other than that, I've cut mine and opened them quite a bit because I use them quite a bit. So I haven't had that problem. But if you're not using them every day or two, then I would definitely leave your case kind of cracked open like this. The other thing is it really probably depends on the heat, the humidity level of where you're stamping, and that can vary out quite a bit. So I only use water to clean them. I have not used soaps thus far. So I don't know what soap would do to it. I've kind of thought about it. I've also kind of thought about throwing them in with my laundry, but I would want to be careful because I wouldn't want any of the ink to come out on the clothes. It would definitely be a dark, dark, dark load of stuff that that wasn't super important. Like we have dark towels, so I maybe would do it with that, but that's been my experience. So, okay. Next, where is my next card? Oh, ooh, this will be fun. Okay, so this is a request from a couple of weeks ago. Somebody had asked me to use the Love You to Pieces stamp set and framelits, and I hadn't used these yet, so I was kind of anxious to do something with them. So I wanted to show you what I did. This is kind of fun. I took this large piece, which will cut like a whole puzzle out, so you could stamp something like a scene or whatever, and then die cut this, and then it would be a total perfect like puzzle to work on. I think this would be great if you could adhere it to like either fun foam or maybe some cardboard, something a little thicker, so the puzzle pieces were easier to work with. So that was just kind of one thing I thought about. But in this case, what I did was I embossed it with my embossing mats. And that's another question I've had a lot of questions about, or a lot of requests for. So let me grab my I'm grabbing my Big Shot platform so I can show you the correct sandwich, because that's what it's all about, is the sandwich. So first of all, I'm using my new platform. I say this new, we've had it for a couple years, but it's the new platform. It will completely work if you have the old platform with those tabs. You're just going to want to be on the tab that you would emboss with, which I think is you have one tab down. The other tab is open. Okay. Next, I am going to get rid of the thin die adapter for this. I don't need it. I'm going to put one piece of cutting plastic down. This is my good, nice, clear one. Okay. And then you can do one of two ways, kind of depending on what you want to do. Personally, I'm going to do it this way because I like seeing what I'm doing. So I'm going to put the blue mat. This is that pretty much paper thin mat. It's a really skinny layer of rubber. And I'm going to put that down next. Then I'm going to put my cardstock down. So let me just grab a scrap here quick. And then I'm going to put my die down. Now you can use a die that is specifically designed to emboss, or a die that's designed to cut. Now this is a die that's designed to cut on here. And it's a little nerve-wracking running this through your Big Shot because you think, oh boy, am I going to ruin my embossing mat? And the answer is, as long as you've got the right sandwich, the answer is no. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to put the white plate that came with your embossing mat through. And a couple of checks for you. I'm just grabbing my Big Shot so I can do this right here for you. You want, when you push it through your Big Shot, you want to make sure it doesn't feel like really tight. Like it would if you were cutting this out. If it's tight like that, then something's wrong, and stop before you go through. Now, when I'm rolling this through, I'm rolling it and I barely feel any thickness to it. I don't feel like it's gonna cut. It's really loose going through, okay? And no, I'm not cutting my mat because I don't have enough thickness for it to cut through anything. But what I do have enough thickness for is for it to emboss. So it has not cut through. This is still one solid piece of cardstock. Okay, and like I said, you can do this with any kind of die, whether it's for embossing or not for embossing. So that's pretty awesome. I love that feature. Okay, now if you want to cut with this, you just have to go back to your regular sandwich. So I would add in the thin die adapter, which is this piece. Again, I would put my cutting plastic down, my die and my cardstock, and then instead of using the white pad, I'm going to use my regular cutting mat. And then that will cut that out. Okay, I'll show you. This is the exact same piece of paper I just embossed. But this time I'm going to cut, and listen. Can you hear that? The cracking and the I can feel that mat was cutting through. So you really will notice a difference between the two. And actually, the first time I did it, it felt so loose with the embossing. It felt so loose that I was like, oh, there is no way anything's going to happen. And sure enough, it did. Okay, now look at this. It cut through. So that's pretty awesome. Isn't that cool? So that just the difference in sandwich is what makes the difference on your cutting. All right. So now you can take these pieces and kind of play with them, do different things. Let's make a card with this. I actually kind of had in my head, and again, here's a card I don't quite have designed yet. I have it designed in my head. So we'll see. Sometimes that doesn't always come out in real life the way I want it to happen. But I've got my embossed piece, and my thought was I would make kind of a fun little card with some pretty colors. So I've got Coastal Cabana. Actually, no. Kidding. I have Pool Party. I'm going to use soft sea foam. So Saffron, Blushing Bride, and I think Highland Heather. So this is kind of a fun little color scheme. You know what? I'm going to switch out Blushing Bride for Calypso Coral. I wanted a little orangey color in there. Okay, so I'm going to take and squeeze my stamp pad to my lid, like so. Grab my aqua painter. I was so proud of myself. I filled all my aqua painters last week. Okay, I'm just feeling that the water's coming out of here, which it is. And then I'm just going to color right on here. And I want to try and stay in those lines as much as I can. And here's where, you know what, it actually might almost be easier to watercolor the individual pieces that I cut. Okay, so I think I'm going to do that. So there's one. The problem is now I'm going to have to put this back together. There's another one. But these are going to be really pretty because they're all watercolored. We'll do one more piece. Cleaning it off with my burp rag. Let's see, there's 4 times 4 is 16, and I've got 5 colors. So about 3 colors, 3 pieces for each color. Now the problem is I'm not like checking to see if these pieces are like random or not, so who knows what we're going to end up with. Okay, so there's a couple in yellow. Clean my ink pad, squeeze the lid. So I think this is actually going to be really cute. I'm trying to get more random pieces. We'll see how that goes. And I'm also trying to make sure I don't get colors mixed on here. We'll see how that goes. By the way, if you don't like squeezing, you can you die cut watercolor paper? Well, I just did, so yeah, you totally can. You can die cut a lot of different things. You can die cut fabric, you can die cut chipboard, felt, wood pieces. I should say certain wood pieces. If they're too thick, they won't die cut, but a lot of them will. Okay, this is, you know what? I probably should have done 3 yellows because I need 3 and 1 is going to have 4. Well, I need to, it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm getting all spazzy on you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so here is Pool Party. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Sure hoping these are random. Kind of thinking they're not, though. 4 colors in Pool Party, or 4 pieces in Pool Party. Hope I didn't flip over. No, I didn't, because I'm making sure they're on their right sides. Thank you, Joy. You're always looking out for me. All right, and last, we're going to do Highland Heather. Purple. Let the heavens rejoice that we have purples. And then I got to do one more piece in So Saffron, just so we're even. You know, I like to be even if I can. But look at me closing up my ink pads. Hope you guys are proud of me. Wah! As they go flying. Okay, so that was a long process to get to this, but I think you will agree it's going to be kind of awesome. Okay. Hi, Leslie from Tasmania. That's exciting. Okay. So, first of all, I want my pieces to be kind of dry. Look at this, really goes to show you the more ink you have, the darker your pieces will be. But that's kind of what I like about this. Ooh, you were just in Rock Island camping. Oh my gosh, that's right where I live practically. Oh, okay. So I'm going to take and put my puzzle together basically. So I'm going to put adhesive all across here, and then we'll see kind of how this goes. Hopefully this will work. I really am not 100% sure that it will, but I bet it will. We're going to make it work. See, like that piece goes there, but I think they're pretty even. I could probably make it go here too. Sometimes I'm kind of smart. Other times not so much, but sometimes it works out. All right, so this is like kind of fun. We're putting together our little puzzle here, and it is going pretty well. It's pretty easy to do. Whew, right? Put a purple piece in here. This one's throwing me off because that's not actually a piece. Put a green piece right here. Put a purple there. And a blue one here. And oh look, there's one that matches. I'm gonna have to put two next to each other there. That's okay. Put that one there. And here, let's see if I can actually switch this one with this one, because then it's not quite as bad. Put a green one here. And then we've got a green piece that goes right here. And then a blue right there. Okay, so only one piece is kind of together. So that's kind of cool. It's a fun little look. All right. Now, I also die cut ahead of time a little circle so that we can put this over the top and stamp our sentiment. So where did my stamp set go? Yeah, I've kind of made a mess here. All right, so thanks for keeping me together. There's a few people I could send that card to. Okay. I do have some people that definitely help keep me together. So let's put that on my circle. So I used my Layering Circles framelits to cut this out. And then I'm going to stamp it in the purple. Well, yeah, I'm going to stamp it in the purple. Thanks for keeping me together. So cute. And we're going to adhere that to this coordinating scallop circle, which just gives a little peek of the scallops. And if you put it on crooked, it gives you a little less of a peek of the scallops. See if we can do this a little better. There we go. That's much better. So of course, popping that up. Oh my goodness, the time is flying. All right. And then I'm going to mount this to a Highland Heather card base. And this is just such a sweet stamp set. I think there's lots of possibilities with this, but I really like how that turned out. Better than I even suspected. Now, the thing that I really like doing with this, and again, I was kind of going to go in another direction in my head on this one, is just having that embossing as a background is really fun. I do have a video coming up that shows the embossing mats. We use both of them, so you can kind of see what they look like and how they work. So it's kind of fun. There's a lot of stamp sets that you can use these with too, the embossing mat. So I really like that. So I'll have some ideas for you on that. Okay, we're going to do one more quick card and then I need to sign off. This is another one I've gotten a ton of requests for, and that is the Wishing You Well stamp set. I love this. It's such a pretty, pretty stamp set. So let's make a quick card with this. I did the wreath a little while ago, but now I'm going to do the flower or wheat bunch, however you want to look at that. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my old trusty colors here, which are basically gray granite and pretty much any other color. Since we kind of had purple going, maybe I'll do purple again. Okay, I'm going to cut a piece here. Oops. And I really like the look of this. I just got to find out what I did with my gray granite ink pad. Aha! I found it. Don't worry. Okay, so this is gray granite. And we're going to stamp that beautiful bouquet stamp. And one of the things I really like about this stamp set is it's got some really great sentiments in it. There's a Christmas sentiment, but then there's also not Christmas sentiments in it. So just a note, wishing you well, sending you our thoughts and prayers. So I'm going to use that because that's a really good sentiment for a card to keep on hand. Okay, so here we have the bouquet. I had a block sitting out for this, but it is missing. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to stamp my bouquet on here like so. And this is, like I said, gray granite ink. Then I'm going to add my flowers. And you know what? I changed my mind. I'm not going to use gray granite or Highland Heather. That's what I was going to use. I'm going to I want a rich color. So I'm going to use, actually, Mary Merlot is the color I'm going to use. Okay. And you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because I want to use that ribbon again for the bow. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to get the cute little flowers and stamp them right on top. And isn't that pretty? Just nice fall colors. You could stamp it again, but I'm a little hesitant to do that because I don't want to do too many. Remember what I said about stamping too much. That happens to me more often than I'd like. Now, I think to keep this in a nice fall, well, for a nice fall card, I want to put something fun in the background. Let me see. Let's just see here for a second. I'm trying to find... Ooh, I haven't used my marbled stamp in a long time. Let's try that. Okay. Marbled is such a good stamp. So pretty. And you know what? I'm going to do one thing here, and that is cut a layer for it. And the reason is because I think it looks a little like more polished when you cut a separate layer, okay? So this is 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm holding it in place on my card here, and I'm going to use another block as I call it a rubber, to rub that image so I get a nice good impression. And I of course just stamped it onto, just rubbed my rubber on my stamped piece. So you can see that, that's great. We'll just flip this over and try it once more. I already know it's bugging you that my ink pads are open, but it's okay. I'll close the purple one up just to make you happy. All right. So we'll stamp those beautiful flowers on there once more. I love this color. So pretty. Oh yeah. Okay. Then last but not least, we're going to put it on a layer of Mary Merlot cardstock. Okay, so I've got 3 by 4 so this is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. This is 3 by 4. We're going to put that on here and then add some of that beautiful ribbon to it. Ooh, but you know what? I might change my mind about the ribbon. I think the gray granite ribbon might be kind of cool on this. Okay, yes, I know. I haven't used that marble stamp in a while, so that was kind of fun. I'm sort of glad I switched up my plan on that a little bit. Okay, I'm going to try, it might not work, but I'm going to try making a pretty little bow out of this. This is the gray granite texture weave ribbon. It is in the annual catalog. And I want that beautiful texture weave, so I'm kind of flipping my ribbon over as I tie my bow so that the weavy part shows on both bows, just kind of like what we did with the reversible Mary Merlot ribbon. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, oh yeah, I'm digging that. Okay, and I'm just trying to get my ribbon to be kind of a little smaller, a little bit smaller bow. Yeah, I know I could use the stamped bow, but I kind of like the idea of doing a regular bow just for like a little bit more fanciness. You could totally do the bow that's in the stamp set though, I know. Okay, I think that looks pretty. Now we're gonna pop that up onto our card and then we're gonna embellish it with some pearls. And I'm thinking I want either white pearls, like regular pearls, or those metallic pearls in silver. That could be very pretty. But either way, totally digging the colors. So, Oh my gosh, if you don't have the marbled stamp, you are correct. You must get it. It is one of my absolute fave background stamps. That and the new buffalo check background stamp. I think we used it last week. We're going to use it again. Or no, I used it in a video last week. I'm going to use it again on a card tomorrow on my blog. So check it out. It's so cool. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bunch of pearls on here with my little pick-a tool. This dang tool rocks. So I'm digging it. And then I've got some kind of awesome specials. So let me get that going here. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. Okay, I'll close my ink pads up so as to not give anybody a heart attack here today. We don't want that. I joke, but it's serious business. Okay, so first of all, I'll bring back in all the cards that I used. And then I've got a few details, or all the cards that I made, I should say, not the ones that I used. The cards that I made. So we made a Christmas card. We made a well wishes card. Of course, we made this card. We didn't even put a sentiment on here. We probably could. I did the fill the season with happiness. And is that it? No, there's one more. Oh yeah, that card. We got a lot done today, didn't we? Okay, so let me show you on here my specials. So first of all, don't forget to share the video. You can do that on YouTube or Facebook. And then you'll be entered for free stamps drawing. Okay, and I'll give those away next time. Also, you can get entered by placing an order, and I really would love your help. I'm getting close to my 1,000,000. I'm so wanting it before the end of the year. So if you order, please use host code VFADZQ6U. Now, my ordering special is kind of awesome. If you spend $100 or more, I'm going to give you a pick a tool and a DSP sampler. Well, not sampler, assortment, I guess. It'll just be of a pack of DSP, and I've got Country Lane, and then if I run out of that, I've also got some more. But so you'll get a pick a tool. Now that is the tool I just used. So you must use the host code to get this special, okay? You must use the code to get that special. So what I do is I use the host code benefits to get the stuff, in this case the pick a tools, so that I can send you those freebies. So that's why you have to use the host code. If your order is over $150 and you want the free tool, you still got to use the code, okay? I will not send one to you unless you use the code. Is that clear? I think it's clear. Oftentimes that's not the case, but in this case it is. You need to use the host code to get the gift. Now this is through 9:30, which I believe is Sunday night. Okay. And then also I've got 2 online classes, the Rooted in Nature. And then coming up in October, so in like a week and a half, is the First Frost, FIRST, online class. And then I also am going to have a new monthly Facebook class series coming, and I'll talk about that because it's not going to start till October 1st, and I believe our next Facebook Live is October 1st, but it's going to be pretty awesome. Monthly Facebook class, and I'm really excited about it. How it's going to work is it's going to include a Facebook Live each week that is just for this Facebook class. It's going to talk about how to design your cards, how to use layouts to design your cards. It's going to talk about color combinations. It's going to use a wide variety of stamps. So it's basically going to show you how to create your cards to save time. One of the most common things I get people telling me is it takes them all day to design a single card. So this is kind of an idea of how to make that process go faster, how to use color in your cards. Another thing people really struggle with are color combinations and everything. Barbara, is the Facebook class free? Nope, it sure isn't. I would love to offer it free, but I need to make money at my job, and the only way I do that is when you order from me and when you pay for your classes. So no, it will be a fee-based class, but it'll be pretty inexpensive. I think you will find that you will really be impressed with the price. It'll be really reasonable. Can we order more than once a month with you with the same host code? Of course you can, Kathy. That's a crazy question. Yes, you can. Absolutely. Off to work. We'll have a good day, Michelle. Anyway, I'm really excited about this. And by the way, whether you are a brand new stamper or somebody who's been stamping for a long time, I think you're going to find that this Facebook class is actually pretty awesome. The other thing that I am going to have in it, if you were in my color revamp club, it will be kind of like that. A little different, but kind of like that. We're going to have weekly challenges, which makes me very excited. We're also going to have a PDF with like the card layouts and all of the sizes of the pieces that I use and dimensions and everything. So that is kind of awesome. And thank you, Barbara. My time is worth a lot. I appreciate you saying that. I get so many people who want a lot from me for free, and I think I give a lot for free, but I also really hope that people will see that what I do offer is definitely worth the price. So anyway, thank you guys so much for stamping with me. I am looking forward to stamping with you again next week. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. How do you share for live on YouTube, Casey? I believe so here's the video. This is the little box. There are going to be like little dots or a little arrow that has a little click on it, and then it says share. And that is how you share a Facebook video once it's on YouTube. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Thank you guys all so much, you guys. I'm so glad. By the way, Louise, I'm so glad you saw that those paper pumpkins were available. I knew you were looking for one, so that's awesome. I was going to email you, but you beat me to it, Louise. So anyway, guys, have a super awesome day. Love you all so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.